minutes, News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And my name is Pa Kwesiasari, and coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
The elephant is that we no save. We are born to save Ghana.
And PP Majority Caucus says they expect an immediate recall of Parliament following Supreme Court ruling declaring Speaker's vacation of 4 seats unconstitutional.
Electoral Commission orders printing houses to continue printing ballot papers following disqualification of GFP's running mates appear could be to replace the late Ikuadonko.
Also ahead in the bulletin, COP29 underway in Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, with more than 200 leaders discussing mitigation strategies of climate change.
In business news, Bank of Ghana suspends foreign exchange trading license of Consolidated Bank Ghana for forex infractions.
And in international news, Spain braces for torrential rains as new weather system reaches coast. We've got details of all these stories, plus many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X.
We begin from the Supreme Court, where the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame has called on parties involved in the suit regarding the 4 vacant parliamentary seats to adhere to the decision of the Supreme Court. This follows a ruling by the Apex Court declaring the Speaker of Parliament's action to declare 4 seats vacant unconstitutional. A report by Lord Ido-Asari.
In a suit challenging the decision by the Speaker of Parliament, Majority Leader Alexander Afenyomakin was seeking an order from the Supreme Court to declare that the 4 legislators who had decided to go independent had not vacated their seats. After weeks of legal and political debates, the Apex Court brought the matter to rest after a 5-2 majority decision stating that the Speaker's order to declare the seats vacant was unconstitutional. The court's interpretation of Article 97(1)(g) and (h) of the Constitution means that an MP vacates a seat during a term of Parliament and not during a future one. Prior to Tuesday's judgment, the Speaker had an application to stay an earlier Supreme Court's injunction order dismissed. Whilst Justices Amadou Tanko and Avril Lovelace Johnson dissented, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, Justices Mariama Owusu, Yao Asare Dakon, Ernest Jewu, and Samuel Sedu ruled for the plaintiff. Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame asked the parties to respect the decision of the court.
For me, it's very important that the Supreme Court ruled upon this matter because it is something that had been occurring in this country. The tendency for it to occur really was there. The tendency for it to occur again was there. It is necessary, or it was necessary, that the Supreme Court came to this clear conclusion and determination of the matter. The meaning of Article 97, Clause 1, paragraphs G and H. And I think we must all respect it.
Lawyer for Afenyomakin described the decision of the court as victory for the Constitution.
The fact that the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution does not mean that they are above anybody. In fact, there are judges sitting on the bench. One of them is my classmate. My juniors are on the bench. But once they go and sit there, even if it's my own child sitting there, I cannot but bow and give the person respect, not for the person, but for the office and for the law. And we expect every other Ghanaian to also respect the law. We don't all agree on what is said and what is done. As far as I'm concerned, today democracy has won, constitutionalism has won, and nobody has lost.
Majority Leader Afenyomakin expressed satisfaction with the judgment.
It's a moment for all of us to rally around the choice we made in 1992, democracy. Democracy requires decency, and that is the path the MPP majority caucus took to ensure that we do right to the law. Nothing more except to say that we expect our colleagues on the other side, including Mr. Speaker, to respect the outcome of this case so that we move on as a nation.
With the decision by the Apex Court, it remains to be seen if Parliament will be recalled as a matter of urgency for businesses to proceed as usual.
Meanwhile, Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin has urged the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to reconvene the House to resume its duties. In a press statement released shortly after the Supreme Court upheld his suit, the Majority Leader said the decision of the Supreme Court represents a triumph for constitutional democracy and the rule of law. Now, let's take you through excerpts of that statement that was issued by Alexander Afenyo-Markin on behalf of the Majority Caucus in Parliament. And I read, while we await the court's full written reasoning, its decision on this constitutional question is clear and binding. The Constitution does not grant the Speaker the power to declare parliamentary seats vacant. It goes further to say that the Supreme Court's decision should not be seen as a victory for one side or a defeat for another. Rather, it represents a triumph for our constitutional democracy and the rule of law. The ruling reinforces the principle that in our republic, every institution, no matter how exalted, must operate within the bounds of our Constitution. It further says, to my colleagues across the political divide, I extend a hand of friendship. The time has come for us to move beyond this episode and to redirect our energies towards our primary duty, which is serving the good people of Ghana who elected us to represent their interest. It concludes by saying, to the Right Honourable Speaker, I reaffirm my utmost respect for your office and your distinguished service to our nation. This judicial interpretation of our Constitution should strengthen and not to weaken the relationship between leadership and the members of the House. Let's engage further on this matter. We've been joined by the outgoing Member of Parliament for Ododo constituency, Edwin Ni Lante Vanderpoy. Thanks, sir, for your time. The Supreme Court has ruled it has upheld Afenyo-Markin's suit. Now, is it possible for Parliament to reconvene and to do any meaningful business following from this? Hello, Mr. Vanderpoy, can you hear me? Do I have Nilante Vanderpoy on the line? I'm afraid we're having difficulties establishing contact with Nilante Vanderpoy. But as I mentioned, the Supreme Court has made its ruling in this matter, and we know that the Majority Leader, who also represents the NPP side, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has urged the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to reconvene the House to resume its duties. Now, he released a statement shortly after the Supreme Court upheld his suit. The Majority Leader essentially said the decision of the Supreme Court does represent a triumph for constitutional democracy and the rule of law. So let's try and see if we can re-establish contact with Lante Vanderpoy, the outgoing Member of Parliament for the Ododo constituency. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us here on News 360. I'm afraid we don't have him. You're still watching News 360. This is your election command center. We're streaming live on Facebook, also live on your DSTV channel 279. You're welcome to share with us your views, comments, and suggestions on our headline stories this hour. I'm told Nilante Vanderpoy has joined us on the phone lines. This is some news, some good news coming in for the NPP side, who indeed took this matter to the Supreme Court. We've essentially had the ruling of the Supreme Court. Is it possible that the House could reconvene anytime soon for any meaningful business to arise? Hello, Nilante Vanderpoy.
Hello.
Right. I was asking, following the ruling of the Supreme Court Is it possible for the House to reconvene anytime soon for any meaningful business to arise?
Well, thank you very much, Parkesi. Let me say this. It's unfortunate that the Supreme Court will give a verdict like this when it's so obvious to every Ghanaian that this particular issue do not really need any interpretation, because black and white, any class 6 child can interpret, can just read it and understand. But they decided to have an interpretation. Unfortunately, their interpretation, if you do random sampling of many Ghanaians, they will tell you they are not happy with the Supreme Court's decision. And coming on the heels of the Mo Ibrahim report, I thought the Supreme Court will use this as an opportunity to at least restore some image to itself, but they further push their image and integrity into the mud. So I'm not worried. But the second issue is simple, the question you asked. If the Supreme Court thinks that they have that authority to change the status quo in Parliament, then they should allocate to themselves the power to order Parliament to sit tomorrow. I just want you to understand one thing, and many Ghanaians do not know, that Parliament will have our term. We were supposed to go on recess on Thursday, this coming Thursday. So, from Thursday, no MP. I'm not the leader of our side, but no MP from our side will respond to any call to leave the field and come to the House. We are not. We are not robots to be pushed here and there like that. We were recalled to the House, we came, and nothing was done because the so-called minority was refusing to accept their minority status. Their ego pushed them not to accept, so they decided not to come to the House. And so we came all the way from our constituencies. People left their campaigning, they left the work they were doing in their constituencies, and came down to Accra, only to come and sit down for nothing, and then go back. And then you are expecting us to respond to any other call again? It is impossible. We will not respond to that call.
Mr. Van der Poy, some would ask if your side of the House is just not being, forgive my words, unruly, truant, and just trying to be disobedient to the Supreme Court's orders. Why don't you want democracy to rule?
We don't care about the ruling of the Supreme Court. We will respond to a call by the Speaker of Parliament. And we will sit down and evaluate that call, look at the timing, and see whether it is convenient for us to take that decision to leave our constituencies and come and sit down in Parliament to do government business.
Mr. Van der Poy, I need to find out from you if this is a personal decision or this is the position of the NDC side in Parliament.
I can say this is the decision of many of us on our platform. From the discussions we've had so far since the verdict came out, majority, close to 99% of us, have decided not to respond to any call to come to the House to transact any business, because we have much more important things to do in our constituencies. If the NPP are not ready to do the work of Parliament, we are not ready to assist them.
Mr. Van der Poy, I've got to say a big thank you to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you too.
Neelati Van der Poy is outgoing member of Parliament for the Odododio constituency.
This is your Election Command Center. Civil society organizations denied accreditation by the Electoral Commission to deploy election observers are demanding that the electoral body immediately rescind its unilateral decision to withhold their accreditation for the December 7 elections. The organizations who decried their denial as having no basis and justification described the EC's decision as a breach of their rights and an affront to Ghana's democracy. A report by George Queenan.
The civil society organizations, including Center for Conflict Resolution, Jatike Center, Human Security Research Center, and FESF Foundation, are dumbfounded about the Electoral Commission's decision. For some of the organizations who have been observing elections since 2008, the action is worrying and also a disrespect to the integrity of the organizations. They are therefore demanding the immediate approval of the accreditation for the December 7 polls. Some questions they are begging answers to include the grounds on which the electoral body withheld the accreditation and the mechanisms the EC has put in place to assure citizens of free and fair elections in the absence of CSO observers.
The EC has a responsibility to be transparent in all its dealings as we go into this election, so as not to validate the perceptions that people have about the commission. So her unilateral decision to prevent these CSOs from observing the election, I must say, is a recipe for disaster. It is extremely dangerous. And for the sake of the peace and security of Ghana, Mrs. Jean Mensah, you have to rescind your decision.
Executive Director of the Center for Conflict Resolution, Lieutenant General retired Arnold Kwenu, expressed the Electoral Commission to do the needful.
The last time we participated in the ASIN one. So to be told today that, no, you are not been selected without any reason whatsoever, I think it would be even good for us to know why, so that we correct our mistakes. No reason, and that's all. You have not been selected.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has settled the controversy over ballot order concerns for the 2024 elections. Following the disqualification of Philip Apiakubi, the EC confirmed that the original ballot order will remain unchanged, averting potential chaos and protests over a reballoting or position reshuffle.
The death of Ghana Freedom Party founder and flag bearer, Madame Equia Donko, stirred speculation about the implications of the presidential ballot currently being printed. Key questions emerged over whether the Electoral Commission would need to conduct fresh balloting and if party positions on the ballot paper would change. Addressing an emergency inter-party advisory meeting, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madame Jean Mensah, settled the dust. First, announcing the disqualification of Philip Apiakubi, the Ghana Freedom Party's replacement for Madame Equia Donko.
They detected a number of errors and some illegalities with the form. The candidate's attention was drawn to these errors and the party was provided an opportunity to correct them. They did that. It was not in our bosom to provide the political party the opportunity to correct some of the illegalities that we found on the form. The commission wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election.
Madame Jean Mensah confirmed that the Commission will maintain the original ballot order for 2024, easing concerns of those worried about the potential impact of protest that might arise from a possible reballoting.
We are here to inform you of the Commission's decision to maintain the presidential ballot as it is. We are almost 90% complete with the printing of presidential ballots. The Commission would like to inform you that the printing would proceed on the current ballot as is, in the interest of time and to save this country millions of cedis.
Reacting to the disqualification, Ghana Freedom Party national organizer Richard Butchie welcomed the news.
We all the party executives are happy about it. We made the proposal and the decision that in 2027 we are going to contest for the election.
The NDC, one of the parties that could have been most affected by a shift in ballot positions, also welcomed the EC's decision to maintain the original order.
We are okay with it. The ballot paper maintained. Our position is number 8. The number 8, the umbrella is still there. Nothing changes. It still maintains the same thing.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission is hopeful that legal provisions will be made to address scenarios where flag bearer passes away close to an election.
Let's now go to the Ashanti region, and the next NDC government is committed to transforming Ghana's creative industry, beginning with a new national theatre in Kumasi to support content creators in the region. The plan also includes modernizing the Accra National Theatre with the state-of-the-art equipment to serve as a creative hub for artists nationwide. John Mahama announced this at an engagement with creative artists in Kumasi on Tuesday.
Speaking at the Great Hall of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the former head of state highlighted that his proposed film village would serve as a central hub for Ghanaian content production. A meeting with stakeholders from the creative arts industry emphasized the NDC's commitment to restoring the sector to its former prominence. The NDC under John Mahama has given the firm assurance that he will pay serious attention to the creative economy as it generates substantial income to Ghana's GDP.
In the arts village, no, baby, pursue your production, ubenya set no, and also a generating revenue, a discovery bank, and it will help to lower cost of production for your filmmakers. National Film Theatre, since China for boy you see Rollins Abreso, everything there is not been rehabilitated. Into Russia, Kwane from any other baby I say oh yeah exhibition and I be sometimes curtains no you can't draw the curtains stage no I say and you baby I say room into America so say you see who ye send a bit to me about the creative industry.
His entourage then moved to Bodom in the Nkranza North constituency, where he commissioned a 12-bed maternity ward built and financed by the Lodina Foundation.
This beautiful initiative will make basic healthcare services free and accessible to all. The Lodina Foundation is committed to empowering women and children in all areas of life.
John Mahama expressed disappointment at the number of renal treatment centers in the country, promising to establish more under his health infrastructure projects.
We intend to open modern dialysis centers within reach of every Ghanaian because we seem to have a pandemic of kidney disease.
In other news tonight, flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has promised the people of Obuasi West to set up a community mining scheme when voted into power. The community mining schemes, according to the flag bearer, will ensure that miners in the Obuasi enclave engage in responsible mining.
The flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, was addressing party supporters at Obuasi West constituency. Obuasi is predominantly a mining community. Addressing party faithful, Dr. Bawumia said under his presidency, community mining schemes will be set up.
Yemamo licenses, yemamo community mining schemes, areas are abofui ewa omu use yelomo ebe negotiate neachi aye community mining and small scale miners.
In a related development, the flag bearer has pointed out that despite the current global challenges, the MPP has performed better than the NDC. Addressing party supporters at Obuasi East, he said the MPP government has created more jobs and industries than the NDC government.
MPP, Yaba, notwithstanding, say yenya COVID, the global economic crisis in Aba, every sector of the economy, we have performed better than him. We have created more jobs. We have built more roads, more railway, more airport, more schools, more hospitals, more public libraries, more sanitation facilities, more cocoa jobs, more agriculture, more industry, more factories, more Zongo development.
And it's 25 days to the December 7 elections. Let's touch base with our regional correspondent, Ibrahim Abubakar from the Ashanti region, will tell us about young voters and how they intend to make an informed choice on who to vote for in the elections. In the Eastern region, we explore the electorate choice in the conservative mixed ethnic region. Yvonne Nikwe observed campaigns from door to door to large rallies and will bring us an update. Tamale South MP is referencing the recent U.S. election, which saw a comeback for Donald Trump. Haruna Idriso is emphatic that a similar outcome awaits the new patriotic party. Nadra Muhammad, our Savannah regional correspondent, is standing by to give us updates. First, let's begin with Ibrahim Abubakar. Ibrahim, what are young voters saying in the Ashanti region?
Well, so they are looking at issue basis. Now they are looking at what is in store for them in the political manifesto. You know, we have civil society organizations who are trying to change that narrative of people voting on personality based to issue based. So we have some of them who have been engaging these young voters, having this policy dialogue series, just to ensure that they do not just cast their ballot for voting sake, but do so after a thoughtful evaluation. So this electorate, mostly young voters, are provided with a platform to engage political leaders on their policy as outlined in their manifesto for more clarity. For some of them, they are saying that they have already made up their mind. So regardless of the policy document or the message in the manifesto, it will not change it. But others are also hoping that whatever they wish for is in the manifesto so that they'll go by it. I've been engaging with the executive director of Pen Plus by two who organized this dialogue series together with some young voters who have also been sharing their thoughts on this issue. Let's take a listen to them.
Which political party will best serve your interests? So when you go to the poll, you are more informed, and then you vote based on an informed position. But beyond just the voting on an informed position, it also cures our issues of disinformation, because opponents of all the political parties and each other are diluting and manipulating some of the manifestos, and this gives you what the political parties are promising. And by so doing, we want to get people interested in politics. We want people to demand accountability, demand and make sure that political parties moving forward do not make whimsical promises, but they make promises which are feasible, which are achievable, which can be implemented, and bring about some credibility and sanitize our political landscape.
Ibrahim, you also spoke to young voters. What did they tell you?
I'm experiencing the current happenings and situation we are in. So it's not what they're going to say that's going to influence me, because I'm already in the existing Ghana and I know what I'll do when I get to the polling station.
So far as I know that if Party A is coming, Party B is coming to do this or that, weighing the two of them, their manifestos will influence me to know whom to vote for at the end of the day.
I don't usually judge by current manifestos. Incumbent governments are the past ones and then the present ones. So I just compare all the manifestos together, what they said and how they did it. Sometimes they say it, but then they will do half of it, or they will do less than half of it. So I just compare and contrast everything, and then I make the right choice for myself.
Young voters in the Ashanti region. Let's go to the eastern region, where Yvonne Nikwe observed campaigns from door to large rallies by political parties. Yvonne, what would be the electorate's choice in the eastern region?
Well, Portia, the eastern region largely is having a complex situation. Of course, per the 2016 and 2020 elections, the MPP does have an upper hand. We're looking at percentage votes during the presidential from 62 to 60, and the NDC having 36 to 38 percentage points. So there are gains, and then there are moments where a number of them have equally lost some point. Now, this is a region where we have several of the blocks when we come to the ethnic divide. We're having the Kobo block, we're having the Achim block, we're having the Achim block, and then the Kwewu block, mixed up all together, with people having various needs and what they would want to be looking at in terms of policies before they vote. We do have people who belong staunchly to the dominant two parties, the NDC and the MPP, and then quite a bit of people who are yet to make that choice. They're looking at what the presidential candidates of all of the parties are talking about in terms of policy, especially in terms of agriculture, for the youth and industrialization. All of those things we're hoping will inform them, make the best of choice come the December 7th elections.
Yvonne, thanks for the update. Let's go to the Savannah region, where Nadra Mohammed tells us that Tamale South MP has been addressing NDC supporters in the Salaga constituency. Nadra, what has been his message to the electorate?
Thank you. So when you come to the Savannah region, especially the Salaga South, it's a constituency or a state that both parties are fighting to get. This is because the former MP is on the ticket of NPP, it's fighting and hoping that he gets the seat back from the NDC. The NDC on their part to believe that they want to, they can retain the seat. So during the weekends, the parliamentary candidate of the Salga South constituency, Ajazuera Ibrahima, launched her campaign. And during this launch, we saw a number of NDC MPs across the country come together to support her. And during this launch, some of the MPs were speaking to the media. And according to Haruna Idris, a former minority leader, he is very sure that what happened in the United States elections, it's likely to happen in Ghana. Due to his reasons are because a former MP, a former president has come back and then has taken the seat away from.
They should learn from America. A sitting vice president have lost an election as flag bearer of the party. The same thing will happen in What they should do is to start preparing their handing over rules and prepare and allow for a peaceful transition after Excellency John Dramani Mahama emerges victor on the 7th December.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I have been speaking with our regional correspondents, Nadra Mohammed from the Savannah region, Yvonne Nikwe from the Eastern region, and Ibrahim Abubakar from the Ashanti region.
A reminder to watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. We'll go for a quick break. We still have more stories coming up.
Under the MPP, we have arrested the rapid depreciation of the city.
A nose-diving currency.
Why are you running?
Which has rather arrested the person who said he would arrest, he had arrested it.
I understand.
The dollar has rather arrested him. And so we're looking for him, we can't find him. I asked the IGP if he had the key so that we could find where Vice President was, and he said he doesn't have it.
I understand.
I'm still amazed by the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
One bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Brown new phone. I meet me and I communicate. Bluetooth. Infrared. Fridge. Dining table. Cooler. You have to
Bibi what a pedal account. Why? Pelande or easily go my.
Making money shouldn't be this hard. Just reload and win cash in the Telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning in Telecel More Money promo. Dial *500# or opt in on the Telecel Play app for free. Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here. Yes.
Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced? Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia. #1 on the ballot.
Life is full of uncertainty. Human life is indeed fragile. When a man dies, the breadwinner dies. When a man dies, the father dies. When a man dies, the husband dies. When a man dies, the income dies. Life insurance is the greatest love letter ever written for loved ones. With Ayo Family Cover, you are assured that you and your family are secured for life's lowest moments. With as little as 15 Ghana cedis per month, Ayo gives you 15,000 Ghana cedis life insurance cover to support funeral expenses, or 300 Ghana cedis per night hospitalization cover to support hospital admission bills. You can also add your family members between 1 and 69 years each on your life and hospitalization cover at 15 Ghana cedis each per policy. Don't be left out. Just dial *296# on your MTN number or visit app.ayo4you.com to sign up to the Ayo Family Cover now. Ayo, because you care. Terms and conditions apply. Underwritten by Sanlam Allianz Life Insurance Ghana Limited.
Darling natural twists blend with her hair over time.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She's really more beautiful every week. Darling natural twists get better every day, just like you.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. We do we seek out to bank be no lie. Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first. Woo!
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Business segment is brought to you by MTN,
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obudu. Now, the Bank of Ghana has suspended the foreign exchange trading license of Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG, for 1 month effective November 26, 2024, following breaches of foreign exchange market regulations. The suspension, issued under Section 11.2 of the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723, is intended to address regulatory lapses and ensure compliance. In a statement, the central bank indicated that CBG's license would be reinstated after the suspension period, provided the bank has implemented effective controls to meet regulatory standards. The Bank of Ghana also warned all foreign exchange market participants to strictly adhere to the relevant market regulations and guidelines. Now, financial expert Joe Jackson warns that Ghana's regulated financial institutions face existential threat due to the pervasive impact of illegal mining in the country. Joe Jackson's comments come on the back of the Bank of Ghana's new directive mandating financial institutions to address climate-related financial risk.
Commercial banks in the country have up to December 31, 2025, while specialized deposit-taking institutions and non-bank financial institutions have until December 31, 2026 to comply with the directive.
What would happen to us financial institutions if there's a famine, if the rains fail, if there's a flood? How will it affect the institutions and the people we lend to? How would it affect our areas where we work in? And so this is fantastic, to ask all of us to submit a plan based on the amount of risk we estimate and what we are going to do about that risk is good. And the central bank has done a great thing.
Joe Jackson suggests Ghana's financial sector must take proactive measures to mitigate the risks posed by galamsey. Urgent action is necessary to safeguard the integrity and stability of regulated financial institutions.
What I'd like to see is that the central bank not only talk about climate change, but talk about the kind of risk we face as a nation, the kind of risk that financial institutions face because of the galamsey menace, and how we plan to mitigate those risks. That will be addressing a clear and present danger that this country is facing. Addressing climate risk is good, but addressing the galamsey risk is even better.
Now, acting head of marketing for Petrosol Platinum Energy Limited, Joseph Yaribil, has reiterated Petrosol's dedication to maintaining the highest standards of their customer equipment safety. He was speaking during the first monthly draw of the Energizing Dreams promo at Bogoso in the Western region.
To mark a decade of innovation and growth in the petroleum industry, Petrosol has launched a nationwide sales promotion dubbed Energizing Dreams Promo. This exciting initiative rewards and supports loyal customers across Ghana and runs until March 31, 2025. Petrosol's Energizing Dreams Promo, which kicked off with a thrilling first monthly draw at Bogoso in the Western region, saw 14 loyal customers rewarded with fantastic prizes, including refrigerators, tricycles, motorcycles, televisions, and more.
But we came and we are staying because we are offering you the best. And we have done this via various means. We have invested heavily in ensuring that we maintain the standards that is required to make your equipment safe.
He said the company's success can be attributed to its significant investment in maintaining its customers' equipment to the highest standards. Meanwhile, a member of the Bogoso chapter of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, in charge of operations, Francis Bimpon, is encouraging colleague drivers to partner with Petrosol, citing the exceptional quality of their fuel and outstanding services.
Cars that 312 Sprinter Benz bus, they come and fuel with you here, and I know your fuel is good. So, everyone should come and market with Petrosol.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Up next, the sports.
Dr. Baumia once said,
"We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast."
In 2020, we will promise an airport and a harbor. Fast forward to today, absolutely nothing. Show working. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is, I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Charlie, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay, and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
I'm a Ghanaian and I love luxury accreditation and I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace, I give it to you all.
I love Ghana. Peaceful election before, during, and after. One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody.
One Ghana. Ghana.
This message brought to you from the luxury accreditation.
Champion.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Avoiding injuries, easy. Winning, easy, Charlie. But you know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy, made easy. As I be street footballer, Gary at the top. Now we attend Starboy. Still Gary at the top. I travel go abroad. Kibo Gary at the top. Kibo Gary, he the bio. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, Ma.
How are you and the kids?
Grandma, I miss you.
Is that a Pia? Didn't she go to school?
Oh, no. She's just recovering from malaria.
You see why I don't like to come and visit?
Oh, Ma. Now we have the new treated nets for every room.
Are you serious?
Yes. Even your room has the new treated nets.
Adwa, then you'll be seeing us soon.
Yeah, now I sleep under my new treated net every night.
Are you serious?
Your insecticide-treated net now comes with a new type made for your sleeping comfort. The new net is very strong, highly resistant and just as effective. Remember, a treated net is better than no treated net. Sleep under it every night and throughout the night to avoid malaria. Let's come on board Good Life to eliminate malaria now.
Good Life, live it well, it's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID and the US President's Malaria Initiative.
Under the MPP, we have arrested the rapid depreciation of the city.
And diving currency.
Why are you running?
Which has rather arrested the person who said he would arrest, he had arrested it.
I understand.
The dollar has rather arrested him. And so we're looking for him, we can't find him. I asked the IGP if he had the key so that we could find where our Vice President was, and he said he doesn't have it.
I understand. I'm still amazed by the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Horeku Ampofo. In 1991, Anthony Barfor became the first expatriate to play for Ghana, having lived his whole life in Germany. He went on to make more than 20 appearances for the Black Stars featuring at the Africa Cup of Nations. There's more in the following story.
In recent years, it has become increasingly common to see players switch nationalities to represent Ghana. High-profile footballers like Iñaki Williams, Tariq Lamptey, Antoine Semenyo, Kevin Prince Boateng and Alexander Jiku have made the leap, showcasing their talents on the international stage. However, 24 years ago, Anthony Barfor made history as the first expatriate player to wear the Ghana national team jersey despite having the option to represent Germany. His groundbreaking decision paved the way for future generations of players.
Then Burkhard Caesar came. He came to Germany. He came to the house. He told me he really wants me to play for the national team. And I said, when the time is right, I'll be ready. So I asked my club, and you know, there were no FIFA rules by then. And my club released me, and I played my first match for Ghana on the 13th January 1991, and it was like yesterday. I'll never forget that feeling. And a couple of minutes towards the end, Bokatsi said, I want to substitute you. I said, no, I want to play to the end. He said, no, I want you to get the ovations from the fans. So I went out, and there was a guy standing just beside the bench with a flag. I took the flag, and I did a lap of honor. And yeah, it was very special.
Bafo went on to earn 25 caps for the Black Stars, making significant contributions during the 1992 and 1994 Africa Cup of Nations tournament. He believes that while including foreign nationals can enhance the team, it is crucial to strike a balance to maintain cohesion within the squad.
You know, it has to be a good mixture. Wearing the shirt, wearing the Ghanaian shirt, standing there and listening to the national anthem is special. Really special, you know. What we had more back in the days, I think that a lot of players grew up together. You know, talking about the Winnipeg times or playing at club level before they go outside. For me, you have to put the best with the best, no matter if internationally or domestically. If you think somebody fits in, the cohesion must be there. For all players, it's also important that we tell them the history, that they know how Black Stars came to be Black Stars. You know, that's very important.
Since hanging up his boots, Bafo has transitioned into management roles with CAF and FIFA. He is also the founder and general secretary of the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, continuing to advocate for players' rights and development in the sport.
Now, before we go, let's head to the camp of the Black Stars for the latest updates, where 14 players have arrived to bolster the squad for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Angola and then Niger. Now, the players include, but not limited to, Jordan Ayew, Lawrence Atizigi and Alidu Seidu. Now, these names come in to join the 8 who trained yesterday, which once again includes but not limited to the likes of Gideon Mensah, Mohamed Kudus and Osman Bukari. Ebenezer Annan is the only remaining player and is expected to join the team later tonight to make it a full 23-man squad. Well, that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Ore Kuampofo. Up next on the bulletin is entertainment with Anita Kufu.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is Friday, it's still on point.
It's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
My head really aches, feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procode, and why they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. The only Procode we know is from Kojak. If it's not Procode from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
Wow, So this is the original Proco. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions, insist on Procode from Kojak.
Procode, K-O-J-A-C-H. Procode.
This advert is FDA approved.
Under the MPP, we have arrested the rapid depreciation of the city.
A nose-diving currency.
Why are you running?
Which has rather arrested the person who said he would arrest, he had arrested it.
I understand.
The dollar has rather arrested him. And so we're looking for him, we can't find him. I asked the IGP if he had the key so that we could find where Vice President was, and he said he doesn't have it.
I understand. I'm still amazed by the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Sanlam and Allianz is now Sanlam Allianz, Africa's largest insurer.
There is a business in every woman. And then she works, juggling all that matters to her in seeming effortlessness. One thing is for sure, there is a business in every woman. Introducing Telecel Women in Business, our initiative to empower women-led and women-owned enterprises. Accelerate your growth with finance and investment initiatives. Extend your reach with a free business website, access to digital and physical marketplace. Be empowered through exclusive networking and thought leadership platforms. Enjoy bonus reward with our Red Loyalty and lots more. To benefit from this initiative, be a female-led business and a Telecel business customer. Visit telecel.com.gh/business to register now.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by
Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome to the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. An internationally acclaimed Ghanaian Afro-roots musician, Rocky Dauni, has urged the citizenry to value the peace and security in the country and work towards protecting it. The 4-time Grammy nominee also wants Ghanaians to embrace democracy and support whoever emerges winner of the transparent, free and fair elections come December 7.
Our bowl commodity in life is water and peace. And peace is an inalienable right, but before it can be a right, you have to work for it.
To Rocky Dauni, Ghana has carved an enviable record of being a country that has exhibited stability and transparency with its political system over the years. He cautioned against allowing party politics to be used as a tool to create division among citizens.
Although the hustle and tussle of different political parties can be a little bit disarming, we have to make sure that we don't let the vitriol of the current political state, the turning people against each other because of solicitation of votes, become a means by which we become a divided people. We should embrace democracy as a gift.
The UN Goodwill Ambassador for the Environment for Africa urged all to embrace peace and put Ghana first before, during and after the election.
And we should make sure that come December 7th, we all go, we vote, Ghana wins, and we protect the peace. And whoever emerges in a transparent, free and fair election, we all jump behind as our new leader and support.
That's it for the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. Have a good evening.
And that's how we conclude News 360. Thanks very much, Anita, for your time. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Pa Kwesi Asare.
And I am Portia Gabo. Do join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana tonight. Good evening.